What's up, everybody? It's Ego Leech, and we're here with another episode of Road to the Storm. Today, we're going to be playing Uther. Uther's not a support that I enjoy playing. He feels like a glorified heal bot, but unfortunately, he's basically at the top of the meta for supports right now, so learning how to play him somewhat effectively is kind of necessary if you want to get anywhere in Hero League when the rest of your team decides to first pick stuff like Nova and Gazlo, leaving you in the final support slot. So, let's see what we can get done in this installment.
Get ready.
Alright, we're zoning in here on the Haunted Mines. The friendly team is myself as Uther, Tassadar, Falstad, Kael'thas, and Asmodan. And the enemy team is composed of Nova, Raynor, Lili, Arthas, and Kael'thas. Rather immediately, you're going to notice that we have a serious issue in that we have no front line whatsoever. One promising element, I did see Falstad going top in the defense lane, which is a pretty good choice given our comp. At level 1 here, I'm going to be picking up Reach, simply because, as I discussed in my Lili video on Haunted Mines, there's just really not enough laning to warrant orb talents, which will still be a problem just because Uther is super mana hungry, particularly in the early game. So, the issue with playing Uther is that Uther is an extremely reactive rather than proactive hero. What this means in terms of healing is that, especially because his mana costs are so extensive, you can't afford to just keep people topped off like you would while playing, say, Lili or Karzim or another fairly unrestricted hero in terms of mana. I am going to have to function in many ways as a sort of de facto tank, simply because I have a pretty decent health pool, all things considered, and I am unfortunately the only melee character on our team. Kael'thas is just going to go way too deep. I'm going to be picking up my drink very early on at only the 1 minute mark, but as I said, not a whole lot of options available to me. Falstad's getting taken out in the top lane, and it's looking like Asmodan might know he's going to be alright. He doesn't manage to get gravity lapsed out of there. But I am going to have to ping retreat because I am going back for mana already at 1.5 minutes in. I'll be the first to admit that my Uther play is not exactly top tier. My preferred support has always been Rhaegar from basically day one since I've been playing Heroes of the Storm. But unfortunately, he's really fallen out of the meta. Mostly because his early game sustain just isn't enough in the current aggressive meta. So that's why Uther, who is a very strong early healer, is becoming a lot more prominent. We have Asmodan backing in the lane immediately before the mines open, because he's out of mana, so that's not exactly the best thing in the world. It's looking like we're going to attempt to enter top, but I have a feeling that our Tassadar is going to get punished for that decision. And it looks like nobody followed with me. So, okay, now Kael'thas decides to come into the mines with me. Well, that's pretty sweet of him, I guess. I'm going to throw out a stun to see if we can possibly get something done on this Lili. Unfortunately, my Wave of Light is on cooldown, so it's not looking like I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to throw out a quick heal on myself, see if I can pick something up with that. Unfortunately, I cannot. So I'm just going to go in here and start whacking at these minions. It looks like my whole team's going to chase, but they're going to need some help. So I'm going to throw out the heal on the friendly Falstad. This is the real Nova, surprisingly. It is Nova Free Week. At 4, I'm going to be taking Hammer of the Lightbringer just to try and mitigate some of my early game mana problems. It's going to restore a small amount of mana every time I perform an auto attack. So let's go over here, just stack up with the team real quick. It's looking like the friendly Asmodan is staying out and getting killed by the enemy Kael'thas in bot lane. So I'm going to ping that our team do these 2 small camps and then leave, because I don't think we're going to have the ability to contest the golem, especially when we have no tank. Falstad is going to barrel roll directly into the enemy team, and I'm not going to be able to help him. I am going to back out here. I'm going to ping for the friendly Tassadar to retreat, because I don't think there's anything we can really get done here, being 2 rather fragile supports against basically a full team there. But we have about 50 skulls, don't really need anything more than that, so I would say this is okay as long as we commit to getting merc camps and this sort of thing. It looks like Asmodean's going to try and get some pre-pushing in here, which is actually not a bad idea, I don't think. Going to get hit with the gravity blast, but there's no follow-up flame strike from that, so that's not going to be a big issue. And we're actually managing to take down some structures here in bot lane, which is very promising. It's going to throw out my Wave of Light, which also heals minions. Being that there's a Lieutenant of Hell there, that's actually going to have more benefit than it typically would. And we're actually going to take out the whole front wall before the golems actually spawn. Now I'm going to see if I can't get my team to come over here and do the friendly side siege camp, but it's looking like people might be out of position for that. Oh, it looks like Tassadar is going to come, which is not necessarily the best choice, but hey, it's something. I'm just going to open up with a Wave of Light there. Even going to be throwing out my Hammer of Justice. Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. Just to try and burn this down a little bit faster. And we're going to pick that up. I'm not going to cap it right now, but Tassadar is not exactly the ideal time. As I said in my previous Haunted Mines video, you want to wait until the golems are passing that gate there before you actually cap the golems so that they're able to defend from the enemy golem from inside the gate, putting them at a lot less risk. But, oh well, you know, it's fine. Low MMR, don't worry about it. Okay, at level 7, I'm going to pick up Burden of Guilt just so we have a little bit of extra CC, again, because we don't really have any options in terms of a tank. Priorities, I'm going to take down that Moonwell, going to throw a quick heal on myself, and then I'm just going to start tanking this fort. We're actually doing a surprising amount of damage, and we're just really trading forts at this point. It looks like they're going to be taking ours shortly. But that's alright, considering that we're at a slight skull deficit and a definite kill deficit at 0 to 6 right now. I'm going to recommend that we back up out of here. But no, it looks like our people are committing. I think that was the fake Nova that I took out there. Yes, it was. Not paying attention. Let's see if we can do anything to this. No, we can't do anything to... Oh, we got a root on the Nova, and yes! We do manage to get a kill on the Nova. Thankfully, I was able to get that follow-up stun after the root. And now I'm going to ping our team to retreat. Fortunately, picking up my level 4 Talon has ameliorated a lot of the mana problems I was having early game. Do we get a kill on the Arthas? No, we do not, unfortunately. But now that I see that that is almost dead, I decided to just take that out, especially because half their team is still really out of position. I would say, especially considering that we're down a level, why not try and make up this experience deficit as much as we can? And if this... Yeah, he's just going to take that, but I am definitely going to need to leave now.
It is done.
Nope. And it looks like they're going to leave me alone there. So we're about halfway to level 10. We're still experiencing a serious experience deficit, but taking out that last tower did help, although taking 2 deaths on our side probably wasn't the best trade imaginable. I'm going to hang out up here alongside the Asmodean, who's pushing in kind of deep. I'm not super comfortable with that, but so far it seems like he knows what he's doing. So I'm just going to let it ride, and I'll be here to support him. Unfortunately, my options for being able to peel for him are pretty limited, especially because I can't pick up Cleanse due to the talent gating. But, you know, we should be able to work something out. I am picking up Divine Shield at level 10, which will hopefully do something for us. Going to stun Lily out of her jug, and then I'm going to throw the Divine Shield on there just to cancel out that triple tap. Sorry, Kael'thas, can't do anything when you're about to eat a Pyroblast point blank. I'm going to go in here, get my sippy cup, and start throwing heals out on the friendly Asmodean, who is apparently deciding to go right back in even after I saved his life. Do not recommend that course of action, but hey, you do you, Asmodean, you do you. Not exactly sure what's going on top lane. Falstad and Tassadar have been hanging out there, and Falstad has really been getting repeatedly picked off. I just healed up Asmodean, but he's deciding to back, even though he's only at half mana. This is kind of a risky play I'm doing right here, but I want to try and rescue people, and the Nova honestly doesn't pose that much of a threat to me. I'm going to come up here and just meet up with my teammates, see if we can get something done. I'm going to throw out the stun on the Kael'thas, and we do manage to pick up that kill. Going to throw some heals out on Falstad, but unfortunately, I'm getting pretty low on mana, so if we want to make something happen, they're going to start having to do it without my support necessarily clutching in all the time. So we're just going to move around, pick up some of these small camps if possible. I'm going to see if I can just dash in here and throw a stun. Yes, we do manage to pick off the Nova. Unfortunately, it is at the cost of the friendly Kael'thas. I'm going to move over here towards the Golem where the rest of my team is to hopefully get some support from them. Let's try and throw a peel out on Falstad. I still have Divine Shield waiting in the wings if we need to do something with that. I'm going to stun the Lily out of her Jug. Unfortunately, I don't have enough mana for Divine Shield, but no, now I have it. And I'm going to throw it on Falstad just to make sure that he can get away. Unfortunately, he's not deciding to go away. He's deciding to go back in and die immediately along with the friendly Tassadar. And it's looking like I don't have a lot of options here, so I am just going to peel out and back for mana. I mean, it sucks. It's not a real ideal circumstance, but with our Kael'thas fighting off the Raynor top lane and aaaand just death-pushing bot lane, I don't have a lot of options in terms of being able to get back into the mines and really contesting at the skulls. aaaand, of course, is getting picked off because he's just way too extended without any sort of supportive front line to back him up. At level 13, I am going to be taking Blessed Champion just because, well, I haven't died yet this game, so I don't really feel the need for any sort of spell shield. I'm going to just, no, this is a bad idea. So I'm just going to leave. We're just going to have to lose those mines. I'm going to ping for everyone to retreat because I don't like them being there all alone. But if they want to go for it, I suppose they can go for it. No, it's not GG, aaaand. It's just kind of a tough situation we've put ourselves in. I'm going to ping for him to help me with the siege camp here. See if we can get something done. But no, Kael'thas is just going to take a death. And I'm not going to be able to solo that camp. So I'm going to ping for the team to defend over here. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And hopefully, if Falstad would just fly out, if these guys would quit trying to get an arbitrary kill on Raynor, we might be able to put up some sort of defense, especially with aaaand's Death Laser assisting. So, fortunately, here I am tanking as Uther. Not a whole lot of options available, just gotta defend and hope that they don't push. I have no clue what aaaand or Falstad are doing top lane, but as I always say, these are low MMR games. Anything can happen. Kael'thas inevitably going to be stunned by the large circle that indicates you shouldn't go in there. And we're just going to continue whacking with the hammer again. There's no one. Oh, there is someone to heal. Gonna throw the heal onto the Tassadar, who is not able to avoid the root in time. Just keep throwing the hammer down, and hopefully we might just be able to kill this before Tassadar getting rooted again. It takes the key. And it looks like we are going to be able to do that.
And so the bone golems fall, dust to dust.
Arthas somehow dying. Not exactly sure how that happened. I'm guessing that a fly coming in managed to do that. I'm going to heal up aaaand real quick with all of my healing. And then it looks like Kael'thas is deciding to go bot and defend there. I'm going to indicate that I'm on my way, and I'm going to ask for assistance from the rest of my team, who are currently in a pitched battle against Lily in top lane. Oh, yeah, throw the stun off. Oh, let's see if we can get it done. Can we? Oh, is that going to be a kill? Oh, just barely not going to be a kill. Even I thought that the living bomb there was going to clean that up, but it looks like it wasn't. Okay, so what do we do now? We kind of need to get our heads together. Yes, I would say that just murking at this point is probably the safest choice. And our Falstad, of course, is going to chase directly into the enemy Kael'thas and get killed again. He is sitting at a comfortable 7 deaths now, but you know, maybe if he keeps trying the same thing, something will change. Currently, we have 2 down on our team between aaaand and Falstad. So what we really need to do is stay grouped and get 16 before the next mine phase, where we can actually put up a fight. It's looking like Kael'thas is moving towards something. I'm not exactly sure what. I'm going to ping myself to get everyone to assist me because we really need to enter the mines at the same time. That minion wave is going to give us 16. I'm going to take Hardened Focus because, frankly, they haven't been targeting me at all in any of these fights. It's looking like Kalithos is going to go for a real aggressive push supported by the Siege minions, which I guess isn't too bad an idea unless we get swept in and murdered by everyone. And it's looking like that's a possibility. Oh, no! Arthas is all on his lonesome, which might result in his death. But unfortunately, we just don't really have the DPS to do anything, it's looking like. Could it be possible? No, unfortunately it's not. So, we're going to go in here, clean up this tower. It's looking like Arthas wants a little bit more, but no, he's going to pull back. Okay, we need to defend from this push here. They've just decided to apparently all in at our gate. I have Divine Shield ready, so we can actually put up a pretty vigorous defense here if need be. It's looking like they are going to take out the keep, but let's just see what we can get done. We're going to immediately stun her out of her Jug of 1,000 Cups. I'm going to roll in here. Going to Divine Shield Falstad so he can survive, and it looks like we are all going to basically wipe the team. Who is remaining? It's only Nova and Arthas. I'm going to stay real close to our Kalithos so that the Nova has no chance to pick him off. And it looks like Tacitor's already in the mine, so we're going to follow him down. See, now this is a crucial point in the game. This is actually where we can turn things around pretty substantially. If we weren't losing so badly in these team fights, I would actually suggest that we just push to win right now with 3 down. But frankly, just going for the skulls is probably the safer option. We're going to take out the Arthas, and it's looking like the Nova is going to get away. I'm just not able to pick up the kill on her. I'm going to ping everyone to please focus and attack this, which is honestly a much bigger issue than attempting to get the Nova down, and I am tanking a lot of damage right here. But me and Tacitor managed to take it down. I'm going to back, and then we really need to assemble to push. The friendly Falstad's still chasing the Nova into enemy territory. I'm not exactly sure what he thinks is going to happen, but I'm going to indicate to the entire team that we really, really need to push that keep with this golem. This is honestly probably our... Kalithos manages to assist Falstad in escaping with a sliver of health left, putting 2 down for the next golems coming up, which might actually result in a GG. You know, this is one of those situations where it probably wasn't a good decision to go up there, but hey, it worked out, so I can't hate on him too much. But now, we need to dive in here, get these kills, and take this to the enemy core right now. Gonna immediately stun the Lily out of the Jug of 1,000 Cups. Probably the most crucial thing you can do in this matchup, and I really need my team to get over here. Kalithos is pushing top. I have the upgraded Divine Shield, and I'm going to time that out for this Pyroblast so I can survive it. There we go. And I am still in the game despite that Pyroblast. And it's looking like the friendly Tacitor is going to be taken out. We have managed to take the enemy keep, and the Golem is currently whacking at their core, but I don't know if it's going to be able to get a lot of damage on the core before its shields just regen. And here, going to throw out the Wave of Light as well as Holy Light on myself. I unfortunately do not have Benediction, so my options are kind of limited. That probably could have been GG, but unfortunately Kalithos decided to wander off on his own and just do his own thing top lane, which prevented us from having our main DPS at the core where we really needed it. But it looks like our Golem has managed to put some damage on the core, but now we're in kind of a precarious position. We have our main damage dealer and our other support down for the count. With 45 seconds, we do manage to pick up a kill on the Rainer, which does put us in a more comfortable position. However, it's still not ideal. I'm going to ping the Azmodan to come and help me with the Bruiser camp just to see if we can get a little bit more pressure on their lanes. But I don't know if I want to be wandering in when the Arthas is right there. Looks like Falstad's Fly is on cooldown, so we can't rely on that. So I'm going to ping the Siege camp instead, because that's going to be the safer option until the team is stacked up. So, we're going to come in here, we're going to grab the Siege real quick, and then after that, I think, is when we can afford to go for... Ooh, can I get in here? Are we going to take out the Arthas? Yes, we are. He's just woefully out of position and decided to go a little bit too deep there. Let's wrap up this Siege camp right here. and see what we can get done. We got aaaand throwing down the black pool to clear siege camp. Ambitious, but I kind of like the idea. Coming down here, see if we can get a quick pick off on this Kael'thas, which is just going to be awesome for us. And it's looking like we are. We managed to interrupt the Pyroblast as it's being cast, which means that no one is going to eat all that damage. So I'm actually going to recommend at this point that we start pushing in hard. And look, we've got more of the enemy team out of position. If we push in here, we can get something done. I have Divine Shield to save anyone who might get triple tapped, so I'm not too concerned about that. We've got the enemy team throwing out, ooh, Falstad. Oh, we managed to take out the enemy Lily. Are we going to be able to pick it up? Yes, we managed to pick it up on the Rainer. And this is the moment where we need to go for the core, because I don't think we're going to get any luck better than this. Only the Nova and soon to be the Arthas is coming back up. So we're just going to come in here, whack this Moonwell just in time to get everyone on it. And we're going to just push directly for the core. And this is where we need to make things count. Going to come in here, going to start throwing off my heals on the friendly aaaand. Looks like we're going to pick up the kill on that Arthas again. And I'm just waiting for the triple tap so that I can save whoever suffers that with my Divine Shield. It's looking like the enemy Nova is going to give up, though, and this is actually going to be a GG for the friendly team. Woo! That was a very hairy game. I didn't think we were going to be pulling it out in the end there. Kael'thas and Falstad just ended up getting picked repeatedly, which really put us on the back foot for a substantial amount of the game. But very similar to the aaaand game I just uploaded a couple days ago, one late game team fight really allowed us to push in, even though we were ignoring the objective, and seize the victory. If there's one thing that I want anyone watching this to take away from these games, is that there's a very consistent pattern, and it's that when we have the opening to go directly for the core and end the game, I always encourage my team to take it. In most cases, especially when you're up in kills or experience, which we were in a localized sense after taking out those couple 2-3 members in that last team fight there, we had the numbers advantage. And at that point, it's infinitely safer to go for core and try to end the game than to allow the enemy team to respawn, reposition, and possibly take you in a team fight. So that's going to be it for today's recording. Once again, I am Ego Leech. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more of it, feel free to hit that motherfucking like button, comment, or subscribe to my channel. As I said, daily Heroes of the Storm content. And hopefully we're going to have some new series starting for you pretty soon. Until then, take care.